involved with the great communities in which we live. So we're, obviously I'm going to ask for a moment of silence for the families and the folks and the community of Newtown. It's devastating. I mean, we are all heartbroken. So I will leave it at that, and I will we'll ask for a moment of silence, and then we'll get on with our regular business, and we will do what we do. So I will ask if we pause at this time. Thank you all. We'll move on. We've done the pledge, and as is typical, we're going to modify our agenda because we can never get it right the first time. So,
all right, if I could propose a couple of changes. The consideration of accounts, I'd like to drop the last two items. It was the second number 7. Bids, and we're dropping both A and B from the agenda. Those did not move out of the Finance Committee yet, so asked to drop those. I'd like to add to our consent agenda supplemental personnel report. It's dated, I believe it's dated today. It is dated today. I'd like to add that. And then also to district business, if I could add Roman 5, letter B, we've got 2 second readings of policies. That would be policy 4750 and policy 6252.
okay. My page is a little cut
Would
off.
make it complicated enough?
Yeah, it's fine. I think we got it. And the policies are in front of us, I believe. So, Seth, did you want to weigh in for a second?
Could I just take a moment to acknowledge something a little closer to home? Last week, early Friday, I believe, we lost one of our longtime community members and district employees. Jim Verricchio passed away relatively suddenly last week, and he, in addition to being a district employee, school safety, he was a town justice in the Enfield Town Court, and he was also a state trooper for 20 years as well. And his passing was relatively sudden, and many people who worked with him and knew him were very saddened by that. And we just wish the best to his family and his community as well. And we'll miss his work here.
Thank you, Seth. And we will move on to receiving and hearing of delegations. And Carl Matteo, I believe you signed up first.
Yes.
So, Carl, good to see you.
Good evening. Nice to be here. I am Carl Matteo, and I'm here tonight as a member of the EILC, the district's Equity and Inclusion Leadership Council. And that group would like to sort of reinvigorate our more regular reports to the board. We know that the board liaisons to that group also provide information to the board, but we thought we'd also get back to at least a brief report on a more regular basis. So this month I'd just like to highlight a few things that we've been working on. The EILC has developed a work plan for the upcoming year, and probably will go beyond that. To do that, we've decided to establish 3 EILC working groups. Those are the Family Engagement and Student Support Group, the Cultural Competency and Inclusion Group, and the Communications Group. So just a few words about each one of those. The Family Engagement and Student Support Group creates strategies for bridging and strengthening relationships between families and the district, getting caregivers more involved and empowered. and leveraging resources to support students. The Cultural Competency and Inclusion Working Group would, among other things, bring its experience and expertise to helping the district define and develop cultural competency, how it is demonstrated in a number of district roles, bridge and strengthen relationships with various cultural and identity groups in the community, work with equity mentors as resources to building staff, provide and support education and increased awareness and understanding of cultural competency. So those are just some of the goals that that group would have. The communications group is actually an ongoing group. The communication committee has been meeting for monthly for about the last year and a half. So we'll continue to do a lot of the work we have done in reviewing meeting notes and identifying agenda items, working with Dr. Brown to develop monthly agendas and identify support as needed. And we're also going to put more of an emphasis on developing larger communication strategies with the larger community to make it easier for members to share their work and recommendations of the EILC with their agencies and constituents groups, and to facilitate the engagement of the community in conversations with Dr. Brown and the district leaders. We hope to look at how to leverage community resources in support of ICSD key initiatives and work on developing more effective communication between the EILC and the Board of Education, and hence these few minutes tonight. The EILC has agreed that these working groups will help to focus the work of the council and support district equity and inclusion efforts. The work of the council is broader than just these three working groups, of course, and the monthly meetings will continue to be a time for sharing information, discussing equity strategies, data and needs, and addressing emerging issues. The working groups will focus on leveraging community resources to meet the equity goals, as well as developing plans and strategies to recommend to the Board of Education and district administrators. So thank you.
Thanks, Carl. Chris doesn't realize about when I can't read the names of who signs up. The board member on my right gets to do so.
I just wanted to ask Carl, have we been getting minutes or all that? Is something like a written report or something?
There are full minutes every month. They go to the liaisons from the board, and they're free to distribute those however you guys want. I mean, if you want us to send them to the whole board, we can certainly do that.
Yeah, I'm happy to send them up.
Just put them in Dropbox.
Yeah.
Should we do that?
No, well, I'll put them in there.
Okay, so the liaisons will...
Especially all that you've talked about, I'd like to.
Okay,
Yep,
great.
but he's got it.
Very good.
Manzi Bora and Rory Goldstein. Did I
Yeah.
do you justice? I apologize if I did not.
Chris did just fine. So what do you have, guys?
So, we're here as representatives of Student to Student, which is a peer listening, anti-bullying student advocacy group that I created this year at the high school, aimed to lead the student effort on all those fields, making it the Ithaca High School a more supportive and